Interesting. Puck ban. I mean,
Mhm.
it's possible what you're saying. Yeah, it could be, but um, I think it's also just a little bit of a comfort pick for Lala. Like he does really enjoy it. His Shadow Fiend obviously respect banned and right away, as he's been pretty much picking it whenever he gets the opportunity, and they respond with Snapfire here. So, my opinion, probably emit Snapfire if you're gonna run Coddle and the Mars, but you could always just put the Mars mid, take Snapfire off lane. Like you do have a little bit of flexibility here, but I don't think this is gonna be the 5.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Excel takes
Wonder.
it 5, but I feel like that's unlikely. I think they're more likely to take this as a core than not. But
Mm.
5RAT's running out of reserve time very quickly here with that draft penalty.
Yeah. 30 seconds left here. I'm thinking about what heroes they want to grab. When I see the Keeper of the Light and the Snapfire, I immediately think of backline jump. So I think like a Storm Spirit. Ember would have been like ideal against this, and I know that Red 2 plays a lot of it, but I think at this point you might have to settle for a Storm Spirit. Uh, it gets in and out of the Mars arena very easily. It gets on top of Snapfire and the Keeper of the Light. They go for a Silencer instead. I think Silencer Rubik is a little bit of an odd support duo, especially if Broodmother is doing his own thing on the other side of the map the first couple of minutes. That's usually what we see from Speed. He's not that active to participate in the Broodmother until like the 15-minute mark or so.
I mean, it's great against the Mortimer Kisses, right? To stop that like team fight initiation of like Mars Arena Spear into Mortimer Kisses, but
Yeah, I
you're
mean,
right. It is a
the
little bit
arena
of an
comes out, you
odd
drop the global.
matchup for sure. And then they grab the Marcy, so probably the safe lane. Like that's what we've been seeing more often than not is the Marcy in the 1 position. That's a pretty good counter. That's one that does well into the Brood lane. And so far, basically untouched by these other heroes.
So this could just be both side lanes from both teams right now. The Mars Coddle and the Snapfire TB, respectively, while the Brood Rubik and the Silencer Marcy, they're going to go for probably double mid bans here. So far, I like Radiance or Thunder's choice to deal with the Brood Mother. It's also a very good Terrorblade game. It's a good matchup against the Marcy core in the game, and deals well with the Brood Mother in the lane.
Mhm.
So 5RAT are going to have a pretty strong mid hero here to break down the side lanes to deal with the aggression from Thunder, I believe.
Yeah. Any guesses on what that might be? Again, when I see these heroes, I think Storm Spirit immediately. Puck would have been great as well, but unfortunately he was already banned out by Thunder Awaken. So Storm is really the only thing I can think of. Void Spirit is pickable, but he was kind of dead, man.
I mean, there's just a
Yeah.
lot of counters to Void Spirit.
Some Spirit type hero would be pretty good for 5RATFORCESTAFF. I'm looking at the Ember Spirit. It's banned. Yeah, there's not that many great picks left. They're going to have to go for something a little bit more subpar. I would be fine with a Void Spirit, to be honest, because
Oh,
the two supports on 5RAT are very strong at balling up and fighting people during their early in the mid game, so they want somebody to be able to connect plays with.
yeah. They got rid of the Storm, unfortunately. So you were on the Monet with that one.
Okay, very funny.
His name in game is Monet right
I
now.
want to point out though, 5RAT is actually anticipating that they're going to pick a 5 here. They're assuming either Snapfire or Coddle are going mid, and they go for
There's
the
a
Void Spirit. All right.
Dude, they have 2 minutes and 5 seconds of reserve time left on Thunder Awaken. These guys were not stressed at all during the draft. Meanwhile, 500 like the back of their time. Speed should have showed up earlier, man. They could have used that extra 20 seconds or so. Or I think it's 30
5RAT
seconds.
think it is a mid either one of the first 3 heroes they've selected so far. It honestly could still be either hero, but they've already picked, and it's the Monkey King.
Yeah, it's a rough one.
So your Monkey King is going mid against the
Yeah.
Void Spirit.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's going to be a rough matchup. Mid Monkey King, honestly, pretty much runs free in this lane. I don't really know exactly what they're going to be able to do to kind of control him. I guess you do have potential rotations in from Rubik or Silencer, but it's still not easy. What do you guys think based on draft? Which team are you guys liking?
I like the way Thunder Awaken's draft has developed. I think they've responded accordingly to everything they've seen. They picked the Mars Coddle to kill the Brood, and they picked a good lane matchup for almost all 3 of their lanes. And I think Thunder have better scaling matchups as well. So 5RAT are going to have to. I think there's a lot of responsibility on this Void Spirit to create pressure for the other two cores to get big. Marcy wants his Battle Fury to farm, and Broodmother wants to open up the map and get a bunch of auras. So I think 5RAT need to look to make a lot of mid-game aggression in this game, and maybe they can take it with a few Roches and towers. But
Yeah.
otherwise, I think Thunder are favorite to win this game.
All right, I'm going with Thunder Awaken as well for a lot of those reasons, and I think like your Void Spirit along with your two roaming supports, the Rubik and the Silencer, they don't do enough by themselves. I think Marcy's going to be need too much space if he's going for the Battle Fury. I think speed. Now he plays Broodmother is a little bit too greedy at the beginning of the game. I think things will fall apart for the first time for 5RAT, and they won't be able to draw this one out to 60 minutes.
All right.
What about you, Ricky?
I mean, I'm pretty confident in Thunder Awaken here. It's like outside of the Silencer, I don't think 5RAT have great team fight. And you're gonna get like just decently timed BKBs. You don't really even need the Snapfire follow up here to the arena to like find kills, and you don't really have an answer to the Terrorblade still. So
Yeah.
I think like Knight has just looked pretty good in general this tournament. So I think him being on a hero that's borderline uncountered is gonna be not a recipe for a success here for 5RAT.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. The seeding was done in a little bit of a weird way as well, where the teams that went straight to phase 3 of this tournament, I think counted as higher seeds. And so the top two seeds of phase 2, which was Thunder Awaken and 5RATFORCESTAFF, have to play each other in the first round of phase 3. These playoffs. So it should be a good match regardless, but Thunder Awaken, they did show off that they were a little bit stronger during the group stage, and ended, I think, 5 wins, 2 ties, so they didn't lose a single series, 12-2 overall, compared to 5RATFORCESTAFF's 9-5. Playing against a team that's all warmed up and had amazing performance in the group stage does not bode well for 5RATFORCESTAFF on top of what we think are better drafts.
Yeah, we'll see though. I mean, they could pull something out here. Both teams smoked up. We're gonna see Thunder Awaken as 5 though, heading on into the high ground. Not popping quite yet. There is a decent ward here placed as well.
Dude, that spray is amazing. Do you see that?
Which one?
The Smiling Knight one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that. Check that one out, Yamsun. By the roach pit.
Very cute. They just sprayed alone. No, that's bad faith. That guy's not here right now.
All right, everybody, 30 seconds.
It was like after Nick got kicked from the cut, and they just kept using his voice line in every battle, in every
incredibly
supporter pack,
day.
and everyone's like, "Come on, man."
Yeah, I believe he got part of the money for that one, regardless, though.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the Yamsun voice lines and the nouns pack. Those are gonna be hype.
All right.
Pog.
Is that it? Just use as Pog?
It's just his Pog, yeah.
I had a sheesh voice line on another team. That was my best work.
Well, we'll come up with something better. Don't worry. We will clip something from your interview after Wildcard.
The ironic thing is TSM also opted to use a sheesh voice line the same season from Ryle, so we could just stack them.
Well, this will work.
I think, yeah. For anyone watching right now who is curious, by the way, I believe that the due date for the next bundles are the 28th February. So if you guys aren't aware, make sure to get that stuff done now and submit it. Have time to review it. But in typical fashion of these games, of course, we have a pause. It's not going to be as bad as yesterday, where we were paused for 20 minutes and the team swore that the player was going to be coming back, and it was 5 minutes. It didn't end up coming back to that game for another, no, he wasn't even there until the lobby for the next game, unfortunately. We're good to go, though.
Now, where were we?
What?
All right. Back into the game, finally.
I must admit to enjoying that.
All right.
Dire
Looks
plays
like
a few wards on their side of the map, pretty deep in
Ancient killers?
their jungle, so they will have vision of any kind of rotations that they try to make early on with that Keeper of the Light.
I'm actually curious how this Void Spirit versus Monkey King matchup is going to do. It should be pretty Monkey King favored, but if you do make a mistake and you get like remnanted into the tower, like that can cause you to lose the lane pretty easily. So we'll see how he does. I'm sure Lala very comfortable on the Monkey King, but it is one of Red 2's best heroes of the Void Spirit, so maybe he'll pull out some sweet tricks.
Man, is Grandmaster on this hero. It's a shame that this hero isn't good right now. I mean, they nerfed it pretty hard when they changed, what was it, the 15 talent over to the level 20. Before you'd get the Aghanim Scepter, you'd do tons of burst damage with it. You'd have it around the same timing as your level 15.
Nice remnant dodge mid lane from Lalatroni. Already starting a lane out on the second wave of Jingu stacks. But Ritsu has a nice wave advantage. Overall, things are pretty even. Thunder did take 3 bounty runes, so they'll probably have a little bit of an early lead. There's already a meta in the bot lane as well, so they're coming out very aggressive.
Mm-hmm. It was important all to try to shut down the Broodmother, the first like couple of waves.
Absolutely. I think Knight's idea with this level 1 meta is trying to get as many denies and zone the Brood from the wave, and it's been working so far. It's 0 CS on the Brood, and 5 and 2 on Knight, so they're doing quite well.
Nice.
Yep.
Top
Other
lane.
side of the map, yeah, they'll blast out the creep wave, and Illich will combo this with his guards at Buke to be able to secure himself the ranged creep. So, does look like DNM's going to struggle to get close to this wave at first. Is
It's just
anything
a
a
super
DNM needs to
strong
be
lane.
doing? You were playing this just, what? You were just playing this one, Gary Marcy. I guess you don't want to reveal any strat. Actually, I take that back. Don't reveal any strats. As your manager, don't do that. But yeah, they're trying to put as much damage into DNM here. I think you want to keep his HP below 50%, so you can always threaten to kill him with like Guards Rebuke, Spear, and Illuminate. If he's above 50, then you know he can man up on you and try to like, potentially jump on top of the Keeper of the Light.
Yeah. For 5RAT's top lane, I think they're probably going to look to jump to Coddle when he gets out of position. It's going to be pretty even lane. The Mars and the Coddle are going to look to push the wave out, and the Marcy will be able to sidekick herself to deal with the pressure. So I think it'll be pretty even. The Mars has been winning the first few waves pretty hard, but hopefully with some pulls, 5RAT can break down the lane and get themselves in a good position.
Yeah. Michael's just going to put his body on the line in order to block this small camp, it looks like, but he will take a lot of damage for this one. Yeah, and TP's right back to the tower because he realized that the silencer's just stacking up damage on him with these glaives.
Reds are doing pretty decent in the mid lane for the matchup he's been given. He has 5 denies. Monkey's only a little bit ahead of him, but he's going to get the water rune here and the bounty rune. Make them work for it. I think he's doing pretty good for the matchup he was given. In the bot lane, meta is up again. I assume they're going to try to make a kill play on the Rubik or the Brood.
They've gotten
both of them are level
pretty
3 now.
low, but they managed to regen back quite a bit. Speed also going the double Wraith Band, so a little bit tankier. But yeah, you're right. They could try and turn it around with the...
The annoying part about Brood Mother is that if you do not manage to kill her from full to 0, then she will heal right back up with her insatiable hunger, and you'll probably have pushed a wave into the Brood as well, trying to go on her. So you need to make sure you get the execution down correctly if you're going to go for kill plays, or else they can backfire on you pretty hard.
Yeah, this hero has so much sustain, not just from that, but the whips too. And you can see Speed realize, okay, it's all physical damage from this Terrorblade. I can just go double Wraith Band in order to survive. Like, them trying to burst me down here. I think he has too much armor in order to be taken down.
You always have to play around the Silken Boa too, right? Like, if you pop meta to try and make a kill and he just boas you, you're just, you know...
Yeah,
gonna
you
miss
gotta
a
wait
lot.
for an opportunity for the Radiant. You gotta be patient. I think the best thing they can do is wait for the Brood to waste one of her spells, like this.
There it is, and they're going to turn it around onto the Rubik. And they do manage to get first blood for Little Nick, but in exchange here for Knight. Because now with the level 2 meta up, he should be able to kind of bully out the Spider.
Yeah, they'll do pretty well on this wave. It's very nice that they got the first blood on 5RAT before Radiant. I think they take this trade for sure.
Well, switch over to 5 minutes. We hit nighttime. I don't imagine we'll see any rotations with this, but definitely when the power runes spawn, especially with the Void Spirit in the game. If he gets a good power rune, it's like a free kill for him. So both teams are going to want to try to move supports onto the runes.
Yeah. Top lane, DNM is playing for sustain. He has a Ring of Health, Naked Brush. That indicates to me he's just playing the setup here. They're not really looking to bring the pressure to the top lane. They're probably going to bring Void Spirit or the supports to the Brood's lane to deal with the Terrorblades. He's quite far ahead from the Brood right now, 400 net worth ahead, but he doesn't have meta. So this catapult wave is hopefully a good way for 5RAT to break down the lanes right now. See what happens.
Little Neck taking a decent chunk of damage, but he will get pulled back into the Brood Mother, so Snapfire in some trouble here. And this should be a kill. Yeah, nicely done by Nick. Good bait.
Yeah. And I'll continue on through the river here to try to grab that power rune, just like we're talking about. Bottom side of the river, Little Nick. Top side, AB1.
It will just be a DD picked up there by
The
the
silencer's
silencer.
going to do a lot of damage to the Caudal here. Pretty unlucky for 5RAT. The rune spawns top. Void Spirit doesn't get the rune. And Monkey is going to bully him a lot with the sieged wagon as well, because Void Spirit's not 6 yet. He has to go back mid and deal with the pressure. I think the Snapfire should come mid here on this mid wagon. They have a really big wave. I think the Terrorblade will have to leave bottom soonish anyways.
Yeah. Brood Mother hits at level 6. I mean, just an overwhelming amount of spiders. Probably just want to fire up the jungle at that point. Lala's very aggressively forward here. It's not that easy to find a kill onto him, though, because he does have Tree Dance available. So as soon as you see a TP come in,
They
he's
let
gonna
their
be able to do
wagon
that.
die.
Dang, yeah. I was just going to say, like, they were super close to keeping that alive, but
Yeah. The Snapfire ended up smoking, trying to get behind mid, but I think he was a bit too slow. So now their window of pressure is over. Void Spirit 6 now. 5RAT have dealt with it pretty well.
Is anyone in particular Red 2 is going to be looking for a kill at this point? Oh my god, Lil Nick is getting bullied.
Yeah, I'm hoping Red2 will just get as much farm as he can, and when the Brood Mother's ready to make a play to the bottom lane, he will probably connect and deal with the Snapfire. He's probably just going to hold the waves down here while the TB jungles. This Brood is going to be 6 now. It's going to be very hard for Radiant to play down here without a TP from the Mars.
Radiant might want to haul some ass down to their bottom tower. Oh, they still got one.
Big Mars, he's just about hit his own level 6. I imagine it'd be pretty easy for him to find a kill off on the silencer as soon as he gets Arena. All they need is Michael to rotate up here with him. And Speed does find a kill onto Excel down here.
Ooh. DNM's aggression play gets shut down top lane. Presses his ulti, but gets God's rebuked as he tries to rebound onto the Mars.
that's
Very
quick
unfortunate
response,
play.
man. That's slick.
Yeah, knocks him out of the air.
This is big, because now this Marcy is pretty useless for the next minute. They're going to come here on the Monkey King and the Caudal and try to kick them out of this top lane. I like this a lot.
Mhm.
They say, we can't deal with the Brood bot lane, we're just going to come pressure you top.
Radiant's bottom is cashed
Speaking of the
out
Brood
for Riptip.
bot lane, Speed's already managed to grab the tower as he's just going to go ahead and rush the Guardian Greaves, like we've seen most Brood Mothers honestly do. So it's nothing too...
Dyer's top tower is really taking a beating.
They want DNM. And
Nice
they'll
little
probably
tumbler
get him.
toy. The Arena, though, he's out, dude.
Yeah. DNM still got them Zuma reflexes. He's too quick.
Honestly, if he didn't tumbler toy there, he gets caught.
Hanging on by a breath.
Man, I don't like this play from Thunder that much. I kind of wish they just hit the top tower and didn't use this arena, because now there's no arena for a minute. No one is threatening this Brood at all. There's no way they can kill him for a minute.
He
And
just
the
solo
Brood gets
killed him.
a solo kill on the Terrorblade.
Don't look
This is
now,
very
Radiant's
bad for the
bottom
Radiant.
tower is getting obliterated. Okay, fine, you can look.
Things falling apart all over the place. Speed gets a he got one solo kill lost one to the Snapfire, gets another on Brood Mother, or sorry, on Terrorblade. Gets the bottom tier 1 tower. Arena fails to connect with anything. Top tier 1 is still standing on 5RAT. A lot of things just went wrong for you, man.
Yep, and Thunder's bot tier 2 also about to take a ton of pressure to these
Don't
spiders.
look now,
Yeah.
but Radiant's
If they have to
bottom
use their
tower
glyph here,
is
it's gonna
obliterated.
feel really
If
bad for the
Dyer's
Radiant.
top tower, I'd put on a hard
Who do you
hat.
bring bottom? Like, it has to be the Mars, right?
It has to be the Mars. They gotta make. I think they gotta smoke this guy in arena, the Brood, or else they're not gonna kill him with anyone else this game.
You still got 25 seconds till that's up. You almost have... I mean, you're not even close to level 6 on the Snapfire either.
Does he have the damage to kill these things with the Boundless Strike right now?
Only
I
level
forget.
2. Not enough.
He is level 2, Boundless
That's what I'm
Strike.
saying. It's only level 2. It's not enough.
Oh. I forget what the calculation on it is.
Ooh. Damn, I thought Radiant had a really good window to open this game up, especially when the Marcy wasted her ulti, but they not only were they unable to get this top tower, but they also have not been able to stop this Brood from taking over bottom.
And he is
And meanwhile, this whole time,
exploding in XP as well.
yeah,
He is
the
so
Void
high
Spirit
level.
and the Marcy are catching up really fast.
Little Nick here behind the tower, gonna eat a spear there from the Mars, and easy pick off for him.
Yeah, wish the kill went to the Mars there, because he just needs his Blink Dagger really quickly in order to deal with the Brood Mother, but
Well, that'll deal with the
quickly
Brood
will do the
Mother.
trick.
A little bit of an
Very-
awkward rotation mid there from Speed.
Yeah, it was a bit rushed. He could have just kept hitting bottom, I think.
He like basically brought the gank to him, you know? Like he sees them setting up in mid lane, and rather than like forcing them to run all the way bottom, he just kind of meets them in the mid. Which like a lot of
Yeah.
times we see Brood Mothers make that rotation for the tower, but like you
Yeah,
said, it felt rushed. Like there's no one else on the team that can hit the tower.
Yeah, he had a completed mech in the base as well when he made that rotation. Like, he didn't have it on his hero yet.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised. I'm not sure if 5RAT felt uncomfortable with the pace of the game. I thought the pace of the game was going great for them. And this Mars showed mid to kill the Rubik as well. I thought that would mean Brood would get to farm all of bottom and drag him away. But and on the bright side, Albino Zebra 1's about to get his level 6 on the top lane. They're probably going to look to make a big play with this Arcane Rune on the Void Spirit right now.
Ooh, Wukong's command does come through. Boundless Strike connects onto Nick. He's going to be able to cookie away, but just too much damage out there from Lala. A 1-for-1 trade. He's going to chase for more here onto the Void Spirit. Doesn't quite have it. Arcane Rune
Rune?
making it a little bit difficult. Trying to play for that Power Rune, but it will spawn top. Man, another DD that is just, ooh, nice little tumbler
Nice
back.
tumbler story. The raindrop blocked the blinding light damage, so he could jump back into it. Now he's gonna farm this jungle pretty fast. That's a nice play by DNM.
What is it, level? How much damage does the blinding light do? 100, yeah. Just a little bit above the threshold of 75.
So here the Broodmother is gonna start pressuring bottom again. It's gonna make a probably very difficult decision for this Mars, because if he goes bottom, they gotta kill this Brood, or else it's big.
Oh, nice.
Leaving all this pressure out on top lane. And like I said, Albino Zebra 1 has just been sitting up here, getting a bunch of levels this game. They can give the tome to the Rubik, and now it's I think the supports on 5RAT are going to be ready to play soon. Hopefully they'll be able to enable this Brood, who almost has Guardian Greaves ready to take back the bottom jungle and hopefully the mid tower.
Yeah. Red 2 finishes up his Kaya, so a little bit more magical burst damage going to come up from him. Also the regen. It's easy to spam his spells. And
Blink reveal there.
run little neck.
Finds little Nick onto the Rubik, and a nice
Good mech.
mech, but is it going to be enough to keep him alive? Unfortunately, still in the... Actually, Bulwark, pretty funny, wasting some time. Nice Void Spirit, Astral Step on in, but they've still got the Mortimer Kisses. Ready to go as they look for more. Lala unable to connect, but it's going to be the Blink Spear out from the Mars once again, and onto the Broodmother they go. With the push back and the blinding light, they get the kill. Michael closing that one out, and that's two nice ones there for the side of Thunder Awaken.
5RAT overextending a bit. I think they could have been happy with getting the arena out and only the Rubik dead, but they chose to turn and use the global. It's pretty rough, because now it's going to be pretty hard for them to gain any map control back.
Do you think, I mean, they've made a couple of plays like this where they just continue to go forward in the enemy team when they have the option to go back. Do you think they feel pressured to do so against the Terrorblade? Like they need to play faster? It feels bizarre to do like, when you've got like a carry farming up a Battle Fury. Like thinking
Yeah.
you need to play fast.
They do need to play fast, but I think they're overreacting just a little bit. They should probably just look to get a good opportunity to use the smoke and actually connect to play my hero, instead of, you know, this guy just used arena on my Rubik. Well, they're all here. They try to fight instead and they get punished.
Yep. Speaking of arena on Rubik, that might be what we're seeing here. Just all right, no, he lets him go.
Nick
He got a
steals
blink
the
dagger
good old
available. I thought he would
Scatterblast.
just like blink onto him and drop the arena.
We're in the vicinity
I mean, he's gonna be stoked on Rubik to have the Scatter Blast. It's like one of the best abilities you can steal this game. You just farm super fast with this. You have a lot of kill threat and a lot of damage that you normally wouldn't have to offer in fights. So this is sick.
Well, this Brood has been top network for most of the game, but Terrorblade, who has been left unaddressed, has finally eclipsed him in the network department. And the game is starting to look pretty good for Radiant. The Marcy still doesn't have his Battle Fury at 15 minutes, and Broodmother has not been able to open the bot tier 2 or the mid tower, and it'll get progressively harder and harder for him to do so as the game goes on. Because now this Mars has levels and items, it's very easy for him to just blink Arena this guy whenever he shows, and they can just use the Snapfire ulti and Monkey the Connect, and it's very easy to kill this Broodmother now. So
Yeah. It looked amazing for them a little bit before that, but then I think Broodmother showing in the mid lane, giving that kill up to Mars, made things a lot easier for Thunder Awaken.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
They got to find a way to use this Greaves timing on the Brood, I think, or else the game is going to get pretty difficult.
Well, they're gonna do exactly what you talked about here.
Global
It's
Silence does
definitely
come
to
through.
see.
I mean, it's a decent way to buy them some time as the Monkey King taking a ton of damage here inside this fight, but
Guardian Greaves,
with the silence ending, there they go. They turn around to the Wukong's command, and Broodmother will fall. Michael again picking up that kill. Blink forward there from the Mars. They're trying to get their hands onto AB1. Red 2, nice little Astral Remnant there, but the Spirit to follow it up. They take down the Silencer here pretty easily as they continue to look for more. Monkey King, he's got that Jingu popped and knifed up onto the high ground with that meta. They're really trying to chase the Void Spirit, and they will be able to. Double kill goes the way of the Monkey King. 3 fall overall for the side of 5RAT. And Thunder Awaken, man, just doing some work right now.
I think 5RAT might not be on the same page completely in some of these engagements. I was really hoping that the Marcy would be able to connect to the Broodmother at some point in this game to use her ultimate, but every Marcy Unleash has been used away from the bot lane. And you see what happens now. They just run all their heroes at the Broodmother, and no one can actually back her up, because this Void Spirit is not that strong. Doesn't have a lot of levels. And the Marcy ultimate was used to kill a Snapfire behind your tier 2. And then he walked all the way bottom and didn't get anything, and now he's just farming slowly. This TB is about to hit a very big time. He's about to get Manta. They're going to be able to open Roshan. The game's going to get very difficult for 5RAT.
He's Stroon going to get scouted here in the upper river. When do we think we're going to see one of these teams actually make their first Rosh attempt? Because meta's down for the moment. Is that really
Probably
all
after
they're
this
waiting
Blink
for?
Arena.
Coddle E to reduce the meta cooldown
Yeah.
this
Oh.
game.
Again,
Arena once again finding speed here on the Broodmother, the Boundless Strike once again. Even the Mortimer Kiss is coming through. He pops the Guardian Greaves trying to dodge this one out, but there's too much damage. The Spear ends up pinning the Marcy down instead. DNM gonna drop that Unleash, but that's a hasted Monkey.
they just move
He's
away
out.
the moment the Unleash comes out as
Snapfire,
well.
not as lucky.
Yeah, and they walk away from the Unleash, and again, this is going to mean DM's not
Unleash
doing
used
anything.
to
Yeah.
no avail.
I mean, they got vision. They might just go back in. And it looks like Lala with the Boundless Strike ends up connecting onto 2. The Spear in. He ends up whiffing it there onto the Void Spirit. But a
Stolen
nice
kisses.
remnant with the stolen Mortimer
Nice kill,
Kisses from
Lala
Nick.
Trony.
Hello.
It's not a game-changing kill, but it definitely feels good to finally get a core kill on the side of 5RAT. They're being lorded for so long. It seems to me that DNM at least might be having trouble being decisive with where he wants to go in the game at the moment. It could be Marcy in expertise or a problem in the team communication, but it seems that he's never really able to cleanly connect with the team and make the play. So he's not farming that much, and he's not killing the enemies either. So I'm hoping that 5RAT will be able to make a coordinated move, I guess, soon, because TB is still farming a lot, and the game doesn't get any easier for 5RAT.
That baby is coming down.
Looks like their coordinated move to the bottom lane. Just going to meet up with the Broodmother and try and force this tier 2 as
Yeah.
they're doing the same thing top here with Knight.
Yeah, the problem here is you trade tier 2s, right? But the Thunder side has Roche control now.
Yep.
Don't look now.
Let me quick look at this tower.
Yeah,
Broodmother
it's
and
actually
Marcy both
falling
on top of
very
it.
quickly. Oh, man. Okay.
In fact, they might be able to defend top after they clear that one out.
No fort.
Speed
I mean,
needs to keep going down bottom here. Force a reaction from Thunder.
yeah, they are actually just going to trade towers. Backdoor protection comes in for just a second, but that's not going to be enough. So there it is. Tower swap, outpost swap, and like you mentioned, Roche control in the favor of Thunder Awaken. I mean, they can try and backdoor this mid tower, but it has
I
to
really
be
wish
speed.
Speed was hitting this bot tier 3 here to force them away from this Roche pit, because now they're going to go towards the mid lane, and that's exactly where Thunder are.
Yeah, Pound the Strike comes through. There's the blink, the arena, the global silence does cancel out those mortar kisses right away. And he's going to steal it again on Nick, but Lala with a BKB doing some work. They do manage to get on top of the Terrorblade, though. If they can prevent the Sunder, it's huge. He just gets 4-staffed away. He's out. DNM now on the run as Monkey King will continue to chase. Remnants will come through, but a nice blink spear once again from the Mars. AB1 goes down, and now it's all retreat here for the sign of 5RATFORCESTAFF. They've caught Red 2. The Sunder on the backside actually managing to catch the Rubik, so Knight will clean him up, and Red 2 will be able to snow the spear in the last second. It's all 5. Huge win from Thunder Awaken again.
And just like that, they're almost certainly going to move into the Roche pit with this.
Deny the tower as well. Do it right now, Mars. Okay,
It said 14 HP, doesn't look like he's moving to the Roche pit either. Instead, he decides to walk up to the tier 2 with the catapult. I feel like a little bit of a wasted opportunity considering you control outposts and whatnot, but maybe you're afraid about how quickly the enemy team can get over there with the tier 2 still standing.
You're still a little bit
Seems
off
like
the meta.
Another panic from 5RATFORCESTAFF, to be honest. The Brood was in great position to hit bottom with her spiders, and if she forced TPs back then, they could have made the play across the map, and I think it would have broken Thunder's formation. Instead, they brought everybody to the mid tower, which was mirroring exactly where Thunder wanted to fight, and I think 5RAT can't fight until this Marcy BKB at this point. They've lost their window to do so, and I'm not even sure if this BKB is going to be enough, because now this Terrorblade's going to have an Aegis and a Scotty soon. It's going to be a lot of responsibility on the Marcy to control the fights because the tempo of the other heroes has been almost completely lost.
Yeah, I mean, they put down the spider webs. They're going to start trying to scout out the Roshan. The question is if they can actually make it in time. And only Stolen Bulwark once again. I mean, shout out to Mars. Like, he's done a really good job of not giving up a single spell this game. And that is it. Aegis for the Terrorblade, like you mentioned. We do have a high ground ward here, but there's nothing you can do. Like you said, you can't actually fight into them anymore. And I feel like the Broodmother's webs are just all over the place.
Yeah, he's not controlling any specific area of the map, and I mean, Yamsun talked about this. The blink dagger comes out, like, and crushes this spider under a newspaper, man. I don't know.
Yep. On the bright side for 5RAT, they're almost at the Marcy BKB. They're gonna have to make a big play with this item, I think.
BKB brought at them inside
Oof,
the
okay.
arena.
They
They
will
didn't know it was
command
an
an illusion mid.
Yeah.
Sign of hope.
It's something. And I'll spend a little bit of time walking around and see what Marcy completes the BKB. All right, with this done, what's ideal situation? They should go anime protagonist mode, Yamsun.
I think 5RAT need to get a jump on the Monkey or the Mars before they get their BKB off, hopefully, and kill them right away. Because that's what they need to do with this Marcy. She does a lot of damage instantly, and so hopefully with a Rubik lift or a Void Spirit jump, they can burst somebody and kite this
I don't
TB
think they
with
have
the
enough
Aegis.
stun for that, though. I mean, it's just Rubik lift, right? It's Rubik lift and rebound.
Yeah, the execution is definitely not easy, but Thunder are going to force the issue bottom out, so they're going to have to be able to make it happen.
Yeah, they're smoking.
Another
vision.
idea is they smoke around and they kill the supports right away too. That would be nice with the global.
They have to ignore Knight, right? They cannot go
They
for
have
the
to
Terrorblade.
ignore this Terrorblade. This guy will kill them all. if
They're
they
going
go
all the
anywhere.
way around. Okay, never mind. They just go back up onto their high ground. I mean, that being said, Thunder Awaken's positioned this perfectly. Like, they're all on the backside of their Terrorblade. They aren't giving up anything.
Yeah, this is great from Thunder. They're mirroring away from where they think the smoke will be, so the Terrorblade will be the first point of contact. And now the Terrorblade's just walking in. They don't want to go on this guy. Now they're just awkwardly standing here. They don't know what to do.
They
Outside
found the
Thunder.
Broodmother.
Oh, no.
Another Blink Spear.
Oh,
Global Silence comes out a little bit late. Doesn't seem to really matter all that much. They find themselves the kill onto the Brood. Looking for AB1.
AB1 just stopped moving.
Yeah. I think he just realized there's nothing he's
The
doing.
will to fight isn't there anymore.
And they just split to start cutting waves. Like, you're sending Red 2 mid. You're instantly sending Lil Nick top. But you got waves pushed in already.
Tier 2 is gone. I mean, there's no reason not to walk up the high ground.
they're
You can
gonna
just
keep
go.
on going here. The game Marcy has one ulti and one BKB left. She gotta do something big with it, because otherwise they're gonna lose all their buildings right now.
I mean, what they can do with it is so limited right now. They've got no global science available. It was hard before. The BKBs haven't been committed on Thunder Awaken either. Like,
Yeah.
it's fighting to the ages too.
I think props to Thunder this game for keeping up the pressure. Especially this Coddle TB combo, he just keeps chakra magicking the TB and they're ready to keep on going. The TB never even bought a Scott, he went all in on the damage, the Daedalus here. I like it a lot. Their Aegis is still 2 minutes left. I'm hoping to see Thunder try to look for a fight one more time, because I think 5RAT are too weak to run into their formation. They're gonna try anyways.
I mean, they scan it. They're, you know, obviously gonna see exactly what's going on here. The smoke's gonna break. Red 2 on the backside. They get the cookie away, and they're gonna be forced to go on the Knight first. Again, he's got the Aegis. Does get the Sunder off anyway, so you gotta burn his life 3 times. Good luck, DNM. Ends up just rebounding away as the Broodmother trapped inside the arena for like the 9,000th time. Red 2
Mark, see
trying to get out of here. Lala cookied up forward. Is they going to continue the chase? I mean, he's out of spells here on the Void Spirit. A beautiful spear once again from the Mars, and Red 2 will go down. Backdoor protection, holding for the moment.
I mean, they were so close to a couple items. Like, you're 600, 700 gold away from putting up an Aghanim Scepter on Red 2, but you just don't have the time to wait for it. You had to fight into them there, and it ended up being another disaster. It was just way too hard.
Yeah, the pressure's too much. I believe they're gonna claim mega creeps here. Marcy's a creep without her ulti or BKB.
That's
Just
exactly
gonna
what
go
they're
one to
doing.
the next.
I
They have one
amazing
more
position
fort,
by
but
Illich.
I don't know.
He's like holding the high ground, like in the trees when they walked up smoked, and they had the vision from that observer ward there. There's just no way that 5RAT could fight into that. Their positioning was so good on Thunder Awaken.
Dude, the amount of Terrorblade illusions plus the meta, like cooldown,
It's
like
a chakra magic. That's
yeah, that's what I'm
reducing it.
saying. It's like the fact that he just constantly can spam these is so nuts.
Thunder gonna have the discipline here to wait for the TB meta and the monkey BKB, and then I hope to see them go again, because 5RAT right now are in a very bad position. Oh, on the
Look at
monkey, no
Lola.
BKB hit.
I mean, that's a nice pickoff. You definitely take it. It's better than nothing, and the gold going to DNM
but
is also
take it.
huge.
Yeah.
So he'll enjoy that one. A little bit of a gold
Yeah.
swing, but still not a great game currently for the side of 5RAT. Does have the Brigand's Blade on Marcy, but he does need the Blink and the Basher really to come online at this point to kind of even play toe to toe against this Monkey King or Terrorblade.
No, he's got the blink. It's flying out to him right now.
Was a little undisciplined by the Monkey King, but they still haven't addressed the 20k net worth Terrorblade, who's getting very close to finishing a Satanic. I hope to see Radiant smoke when this monkey spawns and look to end this game.
You know what my therapist says, Yamsun? There's no solution to a problem. It's not a problem. It's just part of your life. And so this Terrorblade is just part of 5RAT's life now.
He really is. They can't get around him. 5RAT are gonna run in while the monkey is dead here. Look for an engagement, but
I mean, they got so much vision. The spear doesn't end up connecting, allowing Red 2 to escape. So he's kind of a little bit lucky there, but oh boy. I
Fire in
swear,
a jar.
this Mars is, he's got a bone to pick with the spider, dude. Oh my god.
monkey's currently AFK in his fountain.
Yeah,
He thinks the game's over already.
I think that's why he says wait. You know, he's like, hold on. Lala took a break, guys.
Yeah, man stepped away from his computer after that death. I think he figured we would have ended. All right, we're good to go.
Yeah.
All right, back in business.
And there you go. Back in we go. You have 40 seconds, no Broodmother, so that's your Pipe Guardian Greaves out of the team fight. Kind of a big deal. But with the constant amounts of spells coming out from the Terrorblade, it's going to make quick work. Like you were saying earlier, they're just playing Disciplined, waiting for that meta to come back up. And they're going to go in. The Blink comes out. They managed to find Knight, but just a quick... Oh my god, the illusion!
Look how quickly these crits shred DNM. Now his BKB and ulti are over, and 5RAT are probably going to go sit in their base for a while. Radiant are going to be disciplined and back off while the meta's down. Probably look to take the last rush fight.
Oh my god. DNM took like a 1200 damage, like crit, between like the Terrorblade and the illusions there.
Yeah, this Terrorblade is terrifying.
I see what you did there.
25 seconds. Yeah, thank you. I got zingers all day. 20 seconds until we see when Rose is going to respawn. You imagine that Awaken have been playing this disciplined enough to just wait for the Rose to try to break this last set of racks? I mean, it feels like they could if they wanted to.
They're going to. They're just waiting on meta again. Like, they're 100% just going to walk up now. There's literally no reason to give 5RAT anything here, I think. Like, they cannot engage into the Terrorblade. He just finished up a Satanic as well. And third time in a row, we're just going to see them all, you know, plant themselves behind Knight's Terrorblade. Michael's got an Octarine and the mech ready to, or the Octarine, the Lotus Orb and the mech ready to go.
Yeah, he's
they smoke up his 5. We'll see what happens here.
Yeah, the mech, the Illuminate, the Satanic that he's got as well. They have to like burst him down 100 to 0 with all this healing behind him too.
I mean, he goes in on DNM with the BKB, the Cookie, the Force Staffs, and there's the Satanic. He's just chewing right through DNM. I don't think he really cares. Oh my god, dude. You're just too far behind. 3 dead, the global silence not mattering with the amount of BKBs and just the straight right-click potential of these heroes. And that's going to be mega creeps. Thunder Awaken giving 5RAT no ability to stall out this game. And they've caught Rubik.
They go for the tier 4s now. It's still not GGing out, even though AB1 is the only one left standing. What's the deal with this one? I mean, maybe they feel like they can stall the game another 10-15 seconds. They're going to keep their match play as high as possible, but that is going to be it. They'll take down this throne in quick order here, and Thunder Awaken will finally crack the 5RATFORCESTAFF base before 40 minutes.
I mean, that was just so disciplined.
Well played from Thunder. Their early game wasn't as disciplined as the rest of their game, but they punished a few mistakes from 5RAT, and I think the game went about as expected. They won the scaling matchup, and at the end of the day, the cores on 5RAT couldn't find enough momentum in the game.
Dude, shout out to Mars, by the way. He had such an incredible game. Like, the Broodmother was the only one who was really doing okay early on, and you know, his rotation in the mid lane kind of hamstringed his game from then on. But Mars actually just didn't stop. He just kept chasing him around the map, making sure that he had really no opportunity to do anything. And that's one of the reasons, like you said, he's not a lane counter, but he's a game counter on the Mars. You trap the Broodmother in the cage, and you just squash spiders. That simple.
I think it all went wrong just like post laning phase when Speed made that rotation. Like, it was so important for 5RAT to capitalize on how well Broodmother was doing. He lost all his momentum when he went to the mid lane. They got picked up by the Mars. Like, that was the odd timing where Mars was like 1,200 gold away from his Blink Dagger. He really could have picked up the pace on the Broodmother, and it allowed him just like completely take over the game on Illich. So I guess nice moves from Thunder Awaken, and that one misstep on 5RAT cost them everything.
Yeah. Well, we do have.
Yep, I agree.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I thought, again, the early game from 5RAT was honestly not too shabby. They did well given the counter picks. They were playing against the harder side of the draft, and they came out ahead in the lanes. But I think where they failed was to be able to coordinate and actually use the strengths of the heroes. I would have liked to see the Marcy help out the Broodmother a bit more in the early game, use an ulti to connect, or even just buff with the sidekick. And at the end of the day, I think they couldn't capitalize on the Brood's momentum, and no one else was really able to have a good game.
Yeah, exactly. That makes sense. Well, we do have another game coming up, but we're going to have to go to a short break, and we'll be back with Thunder Awaken versus 5RATFORCESTAFF. Game number 2. Stay tuned, everyone. We'll see you in a bit.